Antarctica, the coldest continent on the planet, conceals fascinating mysteries and amazing discoveries. From geological training intriguing to the remains of old civilizations, this isolated region continues to challenge our understanding. In this video, we will explore revelations that could change our vision of history. Prepare to be surprised by the discoveries that await you. Let's go. A strange oval shape in the ice. What is behind this mysterious oval form observed in the Antarctic ice? Discovered in 2012 by scientists, this satellite image aroused a lot of curiosity. Measuring about 120 meters wide, this structure was first perceived as an artifact of human origin, its contours evoking carefully built walls. However, the area where it has been spotted is one of the most isolated and preserved on the Earth, which raises questions about its nature. The researchers tried to explain this phenomenon by an atypical ice formation resulting from the katabatic winds, which are formed on the mountainous platforms and the glaciers. These winds, in the night, cool the air and increase the density of cold air, causing ice movements which can give birth to wavy formations known as stratugi. However, these structures are generally acute and wavy crests, and not oval forms, like that captured by the satellite. Scientists have reached the conclusion that satellite images provide a fascinating perspective, but that the real explanation requires physical contact with the structure. Research continues to clarify this mystery, but for the moment, this oval form remains an enigma, symbolizing the many secrets that the Antarctic contains. This phenomenon illustrates how much our understanding of this isolated environment is still limited, inviting more explorations and studies to unravel its mysteries. The pyramidal mountains in Antarctica. The origin of the mountains in the shape of a pyramid in Antarctica arouses many theories. Some argue that these geological structures could be the result of former civilizations that created rock formations, similar to those of Egypt. Others advance the hypothesis of an alien intervention. However, from a scientific point of view, the pyramidal form of the mountains results mainly from erosion. Experts explain that after millions of years of erosion, these training courses would have taken their current appearance. This phenomenon is accentuated by frost and thaw. During the day, snow or water sneaks into the mountain's cracks, then freezes and expands when night falls and temperatures drop. This expansion causes the cracks to expand, ultimately causing the detachment of whole sections of rocks. Scientists believe that these erosion processes are responsible for the formation of other pyramidal mountains, such as Matterhorn in the Alps. In Antarctica, some of these pyramidal mountains have four faces, indicating uniform erosion, which suggests that the type of rock is homogeneous. These geological characteristics intrigue not only scientists, but also enthusiasts of history and mystery. The beauty and singularity of these mountains continue to awaken curiosities and fuel debates on their origin. The Pyramid Mountains in Antarctica remain a fascinating subject of study, mixing geology, natural history, and speculation on past civilizations. The interaction between natural forces and time has shaped these training courses, testifying to the evolution of our planet. Mummified penguins. The discovery of mummified penguins in Antarctica has captured scientists and aroused questions about the history of these species. Indeed, a team of researchers has uncovered 6 bodies of mummified penguins on an island in the Roa Islands archipelago near King George Island in the south of Antarctica. These specimens, which have survived since the last glacial period, offer a rare overview of how these animals have lived in extreme climatic conditions. Scientists from several institutions, including the University of Florida and the University of New South Wales, devoted 6 weeks to search the ice layers to reach these bodies and their nests. This work made it possible to discover that these penguins belong to 3 known species, including the Eudyptus and the Pagacellus. The researchers also found proof of their diet, including mussels, small fish, as well as algae and other plants. This discovery is particularly precious because it helps to understand how these penguins managed to survive during periods of food shortage. especially during the base tidal seasons, such as winter and spring. In addition, it highlights the importance of the Roa Islands as a research site for biology and the evolution of species in Antarctica. These mummified penguins, as samples of the past biodiversity of Antarctica, provide us with crucial indices on the adaptation of species in the face of climate change. Continuous research on these specimens could potentially enrich our understanding of the environmental history of this isolated region and the consequences of glaciations on marine ecosystems. Antarctic seals. Antarctica houses many species of seals, which share characteristics with sea lions. These animals have thick fur, which helps them stay warm in this freezing environment. They can often be observed playing in the water or lounging on rocks and icebergs. Seals, although they are fascinating creatures, also play a crucial role in the region's marine ecosystem. There are several species of seals in this region, each with its own particularities. Among the most notable are Weddell seal, Ross seal, and leopard seal. These animals are adapted to life under extreme conditions. For example, Weddell seal is capable of diving deeply under the ice to hunt prey such as fish and cephalopods. Antarctic seals are also known for their social behavior. They often come together in colonies on the ice, where they rest and interact with each other. This social behavior is not only linked to reproduction, but also to protection against predators, such as orcas and sea leopards. However, these animals face many challenges due to climate change and the melting of ice. The reduction of their natural habitat and the decrease in their food sources, such as the krill, constitute serious threats to their survival. Conservation efforts are underway to protect these emblematic species and their habitat. Antarctic seals are not only captivating creatures, but they are also essential to the health of the marine ecosystem in this remote region of the world. Antarctic whales. Antarctica houses an impressive diversity of whales, attracting many enthusiasts wishing to observe them in their natural habitat. Among the most remarkable species, we find the orcas, also known as the killer whales, as well as the majestic blue whales. The orcas are distinguished by their unique appearance, with slender bodies and falcil-shaped fins, giving them a smiling air. They are formidable predators, chasing other marine animals to eat. Blue whales, on the other hand, are the largest creatures on the planet, mainly feeding on krill, small crustaceans resembling shrimps. The Piri race card. The Piri race card is one of the most fascinating and mysterious historical documents that exist. Developed in 1513 by a Turkish admiral of the same name, this map represents Antarctica, the South Pole, as well as the coasts of Africa, South America, and South Asia. What makes her so singular is her representation of Antarctica at a time when other cards did not do so. This raises questions about how Piri Reis had access to information on this continent, long before explorers like Magellan will know. The map includes details that are not on any other map of the time, including mountain drawings and annotations on islands close to the Antarctic coast. One of the most intriguing elements is an island called Terra Australis Incognita, which could correspond to modern Australia. However, the authenticity and precision of this card were called into question by many researchers. Some argue that it does not faithfully represent reality, while others claim that it constitutes a precise representation of the geographic knowledge of the time. In addition to its historic intrigue, the Piri race card asks questions about ancient cartography and navigation. She suggests that ancient civilizations had advanced geographic knowledge that may have been lost. This map, with its mysteries and its puzzles, continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts of archaeology, nourishing debates on the existence of a lost knowledge of polar land, the Nazi secret base in Antarctica. The Nazi base in Antarctic has aroused many controversies over the decades. Theories on its existence range from extraterrestrials to secret government projects, but after years of investigation, it has appeared that reality is much more fascinating than what one could have imagined. Known as the Vårgårda New Mine Station, this installation is in the western Antarctic Peninsula, one of the coldest places on the planet. Temperatures can drop up to less than 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the region is devoid of any vegetation. During the Second World War, the Nazis established a permanent base in Antarctica, but few people were aware of this operation, because they wanted to keep their secret plans to prevent their enemies from coming to hinder their project. It was only after several years that Allied forces have discovered this secret base. What remains unknown is the existence of another base, called Camp 4, located around 1,000 miles west of the Adair Camp or McMurdo Station, in one of the most hostile environments in the world. The conditions are extreme, with temperatures varying between 40 degrees Celsius at night and 50 degrees Celsius during the day. At the same time, an intriguing story speaks of a ghost ship of a German expedition in the early 1900s, which aimed to map the Southern Ocean. This ship, trapped under a glacier, Lake Vostok, a lake trapped under ice. Lake Vostok is the largest Antarctic lake and also the deepest, buried under 2,700 meters of ice, more than double the thickness of the Niagara Falls. This large range of water was discovered in 1996 by the geographer Andrei Kapisa, who based his research on seismic sonars collected during a Soviet expedition. He identified microbes living on its surface, revealing a unique ecosystem. Geological studies indicate that the lake basin has a valley form. Data from penetrating radars confirm that Lake Vostok is about 150 miles long and 30 miles wide. The bottom of the lake consists of bedrock rock, while its bed is covered with sediments. However, additional research is necessary to determine the exact composition of these sediments. A question remains: have they been filed by cast iron waters, or are they of pre-glacial origin? Antarctica has revealed many secrets, including meteorite fragments, which are considered to be crucial discoveries for science. On April 8, 1912, the scientist Francis Howard Bickerton and his team found a fragment of nickel meteorite on the peninsula of King Edward VII. This piece of iron is particularly significant because it testifies to life on Earth long before the appearance of humanity. Indeed, these meteorites can provide indices on the formation of our solar system and on the conditions that existed at its beginnings. Antarctica, with its vast expanses of ice, acts as a kind of natural freezer, preserving these fragments for thousands of years. This allowed researchers to examine materials that were otherwise altered by time and elements. In it, a perfectly rectangular iceberg. The appearance of an iceberg with rectangular contours has intrigued scientists studying the movement of Antarctic ice. Discovered by a team from the National Ice Center in Seattle, this iceberg was analyzed in the context of research aimed at better understanding the effects of climate change on our planet. The singular shape of this iceberg is the result of vertical cracks which cross a surface of ice otherwise smooth. This phenomenon, known as a slit or separation, gives the iceberg its unusual appearance. Traditionally, the icebergs are formed from smaller pieces that stand out from glaciers, but greater portions can sometimes break because of the influence of heat, whether emanating from underwater volcanoes or oceans in warming. The discovery of an iceberg of this form raises questions about glacial dynamics and changes in ocean currents. There are many implications for this discovery, a mysterious signal in the sky. Antarctica, with its inhospitable landscapes, has often been the scene of strange observations. One of the most intriguing is that reported by a helicopter pilot from the American Army on New Year's Day. By flying over the Strait of McMurdo, this pilot noticed an anomaly on his radar, which led him to alert the military authorities. The naval forces, via the USS Eltanon icebreaker, received information from their electronic intelligence device, indicating an unusual activity near the McMurdo ice platform. 4 military aircraft were deployed to monitor the object, identified as an unidentified flying vehicle. The Army has prepared to investigate this unexplained phenomenon. Observation has aroused interest, not only for its military implications, but also because of the many theories that surround extraterrestrial activities in Antarctica. The details of the incident remain blurred, but it is certain that this type of report has fueled a fascination for the mysteries of this region of the world. Antarctica is often considered a privileged field for scientific discoveries, but it has also become a place where legends and speculations mix on visits to other civilizations. While some skeptics attribute these observations to natural phenomena or to interpretation errors, the possibility of unknown technology or an extraterrestrial presence continues to captivate imagination. This account of a military observation in Antarctica represents a facet of the unknown, which encourages reflection and exploration. Future revelations could potentially change our understanding of this enigmatic region. Mount Arabus. Mount Arabus is the most southern active volcano on the planet, located on Ross in Antarctica. He is also one of the most watched volcanoes in the world, with more than 100 eruptions recorded since 1820. Discovered by James Clark Ross during his expedition in 1841, Mount Arabus is famous for his lava lake, a rare phenomenon that makes it a fascinating subject of study for scientists. This volcano is unique because of its constant activity. His eruptions, although often of low intensity, release ashes and volcanic gases in the atmosphere. Researchers are interested in these eruptions because they offer an overview of the geological processes that occur inside the Earth. The activity of Mount Arabus is fueled by its own magma system, which contributes to its longevity and its stability. The environment around Mount Arabus is extremely hostile, with temperatures often below zero and difficult climatic conditions. This makes scientific expeditions there both dangerous and exciting. Researchers must prepare for logistical challenges when they venture into this isolated region, where snowstorms and strong winds can occur without warning. The Mount Arabus study could also provide valuable information on climate change and its impacts. By analyzing the eruptions and variations in volcanic activity, scientists hope to better understand how volcanoes interact with the environment and influence the climate on a global scale. Mount Arabus thus remains an essential site for volcanological and climatic research, offering perspectives on natural phenomena still poorly understood. Antarctica continues to captivate and mystify us with its extreme environments and astonishing discoveries that may redefine our understanding of history. As we uncover more about this remote continent, we remain hopeful for the insights these findings will bring to our planet's past and future. Le mystère d'Antarctica ne fait que commencer.